Jesus taught a 1-minute ritual to align your soul with the monad. Jesus taught that the greatest transformations often begin in the smallest moments, and the ritual he revealed to align the soul with the monad required only 1 minute, but he warned his disciples that this brief moment carried enough spiritual force to shift the entire trajectory of a life. He insisted that the ritual would not work for everyone. Only those attuned to the inner calling would feel its immediate resonance. If, during these opening seconds, you sense a warmth rise in your chest or a sudden stillness around you, Jesus said that is the first sign the monad is already responding. Mary Magdalene remembered how Jesus described the ritual as a reorientation of the soul, a turning inward so profound that heaven itself bends closer. He taught that the world distracts the chosen constantly, drowning them in noise, fear, and false desires, so they never realize how close the monad actually is. But the ritual breaks through all interference. It stops the spinning wheel of the mind and brings the soul back into its original alignment. Jesus warned that the Archons hate this ritual because it grants clarity faster than any other practice. And if you remain with this message, he said, you will soon understand why the 1-minute ritual was kept hidden for so long. Jesus explained that the 1-minute ritual begins not with breath or thought, but with intention. He said, intention is the soul's signature, the mark recognized instantly by the monad. When a chosen soul sets its intention upward, the unseen responds. Mary Magdalene asked Jesus why the ritual required only a minute, and he answered that alignment occurs not through time but through sincerity. A single moment of true openness can achieve more than years of mechanical repetition. Jesus taught that before beginning the ritual, the chosen must acknowledge a simple truth. The monad is not distant. It is the quiet center, behind every heartbeat, every intuition, every moment of longing for something beyond the visible world. The ritual awakens this center. Jesus explained that, when the chosen prepare for the practice, they may feel pressure behind the sternum or a subtle hum in the mind. These sensations are not imagination. They are the soul remembering its original design. He warned that the Archons attempt to disrupt this preparation through sudden distractions or emotional waves, but he reassured that even noticing these disruptions is a sign of progress. The chosen must simply hold steady, allowing the ritual to unfold naturally, without force. Jesus taught that the first step of the ritual is a single breath drawn slowly and deliberately, as if the soul itself is inhaling. This breath signals the monad, announcing that the chosen is ready to receive alignment. Mary Magdalene recalled how Jesus instructed his students to let the breath expand gently into the chest, filling the inner space without strain. As the breath settles, a stillness emerges, not fears then deepening like a widening pool. Jesus said this, stillness is the gateway. Most people fear silence because it reveals the illusions they depend on, but the chosen feel something different. Recognition. In this moment, Jesus explained, the veil begins to soften. Time stretches. Awareness sharpens. Thoughts slow until they feel like shadows drifting at the edge of consciousness. He warned that some may feel resistance, a tightening in the mind, or a sudden rush of thoughts, but this is merely the ego recoiling from the light. The chosen must let the breath settle naturally and trust the process. Jesus emphasized that the ritual works because it aligns the rhythm of the breath with the ancient pulse of the monad. When the two synchronize, the soul stepped onto the hidden path without effort or struggle. The second phase of the ritual, Jesus said, is an inward turn, so subtle that no observer could detect it. He described it as shifting the gaze of the soul from the outer world to the inner chamber where truth resides. Mary asked how this turning is accomplished, and Jesus replied that it happens through surrender rather than action. He told his disciples to release the need to control, to judge, or to anticipate. In this release, the soul relaxes into its natural orientation. Jesus taught that, when the chosen turn inward correctly, they feel a slight warmth rise from the center of the chest, followed by a gentle loosening of tension around the mind. This is the monad clearing space to enter. He warned that the Archons attempt to interrupt his moment by stirring emotional memories, fears, or sudden waves of doubt. But Jesus reassured that these shadows lose their power the moment they are recognized. The chosen must simply observe them without clinging. As the inward gaze stabilizes, a subtle glow forms in the inner landscape, a glow Jesus described as the first flicker of remembrance. This flicker, he said, is proof that the soul is approaching alignment with the monad. Jesus revealed that the third stage of the ritual is the awakening of resonance. After the inward turn, the chosen must allow a single feeling to rise, not an emotion, but a deep sense of gratitude. Jesus explained that gratitude is the natural language of the monad because it vibrates in harmony with divine order. Mary Magdalene asked how one can summon gratitude in moments of struggle. And Jesus replied that gratitude arises not from circumstances but from recognition, the soul remembering its origin. The chosen need not force it. Even a faint spark is enough. As gratitude emerges, Jesus said it creates a ripple through the inner field, dissolving layers of heaviness and expanding the soul's capacity to receive light. Some feel warmth spreading across their body. Others feel a soft tingling in their hands or spine. Jesus insisted that all these sensations are signs of alignment. He warned that the ego may resist, attempting to judge the experience or analyze it, but he urged the chosen to remain with the feeling, allowing it to deepen naturally. As gratitude stabilizes, it harmonizes the inner frequencies, preparing the soul for the final phase of the 1-minute ritual, direct connection with the monad's radiant center. The fourth phase, Jesus said, is the moment the soul enters coherence. When breath, inward gaze, and gratitude align, a subtle vibration rises from the core of the being. Jesus described this vibration as the whisper of the monada resonance older than creation. Mary Magdalene recalled that Jesus taught his disciples to recognize this vibration not through effort but through sensation. It feels like an inner hum, a soft radiance, or a gentle pressure behind the heart. Jesus warned that the Archons fear this stage most because once coherence is achieved, their influence weakens dramatically. Thoughts lose their power to bind. Emotions lose their grip. The chosen becomes centered, steady, and luminous. Jesus explained that coherence marks the threshold between ordinary consciousness and monadic awareness. As the vibration stabilizes, some may feel tears rise without sadness. Others may sense expanding warmth or an overwhelming sense of peace. Jesus told his disciples that these experiences are not the goal, but the byproduct of alignment. The true purpose of coherence is to make the soul receptive to the monad's direct guidance. Once this receptivity awakens, the ritual enters its most sacred phase, the union of intention and divine response. Jesus taught that the fifth and most delicate stage of the ritual is the offering of intention. In this moment, the chosen must hold a single, silent phrase, not spoken aloud, not even formed fully in words, but felt inwardly. Jesus said the phrase is simple: I am ready. This phrase, he explained, acts as a key. It signals the monad that the soul has reached a state of purity, humility, and alignment. Mary Magdalene remembered how Jesus warned that intention must be sincere. The monad responds only to authenticity, never performance. When the chosen offers this inner phrase, they may feel a wave of warmth, a sense of elevation, or a deep stillness that seems to stretch beyond the body. Jesus explained that this is the monad acknowledging the call. In some cases, the chosen may feel a presence enter their awareness, gentle, luminous, and ancient. Jesus reassured his followers that this presence is safe, for it is the true origin of the soul. Once intention is offered, the ritual begins completing itself naturally. Jesus said the chosen must not try to control the experience. They must simply allow the monad to respond as it wills. As the minute nears completion, Jesus said the chosen enter the phase of reception. This is the moment when the monad sends its responsa, a subtle infusion of clarity, peace, or warmth. Mary Magdalene described it as a descending light, gentle yet unmistakable. Jesus told his disciples that the response differs for each person because every soul carries a unique imprint from its time within the monad before incarnation. Some feel a soft expansion of awareness. Others sense a deep grounding, as if the world becomes more real and unreal at the same time. Jesus emphasized that the chosen must resist the urge to analyze the experience. Analysis pulls the mind outward. Reception draws the soul inward. He warned that the Archons attempt to interfere at this stage by stirring doubt or minimizing the significance of the moment. But the chosen must trust what they feel, no matter how subtle. The response from the monad is always exact, always timely, always tailored to the soul's readiness. Jesus said this is the moment when alignment becomes real, when the ritual fulfills its purpose, when the soul remembers its connection to the eternal. Jesus explained that after receiving the monad's response, the chosen must seal the alignment with a final breath. This breath is slower than the first, softer, like a gentle bow of the soul. Mary asked why a breath was needed, and Jesus responded that breath bridges the spiritual and the physical. It carries the energy of the ritual into the body, anchoring the alignment so it endures beyond the moment. As the chosen exhale, they may feel a release, a weight they didn't realize they were carrying dissolving instantly. Jesus said, this release is the shedding of illusion. The Archons lose their hold here, for the chosen is now aligned with the monad's frequency. Jesus warned that after the ritual, the world may appear slightly different. Colors brighter, silence deeper, intuition sharper. These shifts are not imagination. They are signs of successful alignment. He told his disciples that even after the ritual ends, the monad continues guiding the chosen subtly, opening pathways, revealing truths, and dissolving barriers that once seemed immovable. Jesus insisted the chosen practice this ritual daily, for each repetition strengthens the soul's connection to its origin. Jesus concluded his teaching by reminding his disciples that the 1-minute ritual is not merely a technique, but a remembrance. It restores the soul to its rightful posture, awakening a connection that has always existed beneath the noise of earthly life. Mary Magdalene wrote that Jesus believed those who practiced this ritual would carry a light that silently transforms the world around them. The chosen become steadier, clearer, more aligned with their true purpose. Jesus warned that the Archons would attempt to convince them the ritual is insignificant, but he urged the chosen to trust the inner shifts they experience. Alignment with the monad is subtle, yet its effects are profound. As you reach this moment, consider why this teaching found you now. Jesus said the monad calls only when the soul is ready to awaken into its original strength. If something is stirring inside you, it means the ritual is already working. To continue deepening your alignment, return to this ritual tonight. Inscreva-se, dê seu like e compartilhe.